It's not uncommon for children to dream of playing professional sports, to one day perform in front of thousands of screaming spectators who encourage and push you to victory. Hi, I'm Sheridan Mickles.
I'm Raquel Hammond, your host for Lancaster's Legend. On today's show, we'll meet a recent Lancaster High School graduate who has gone on to hone his gridiron skills at the collegiate level. First, we'll see just how he got his start on the football field and what it took to grow from a relatively unknown high school football player to suiting up in college. Then we'll find out what it's like for a new freshman on college campus and what it took to get comfortable in these new surroundings.
And finally, we'll catch up with some of his current teammates to see how things are shaking out currently. So stay tuned for all this and more on this episode of Lancaster Legends.
Smoking. Smoking leads to disease and disability. Smoking costs the United States hundreds of billions of dollars. Smoking can cause death. Smoking kills over 6 million people worldwide each year. Smoking can lead to lung cancer.
A recent scholarship study found that only 1 out of every 33 high school football players go on to play at the collegiate level. That's just 9% of the over 1 million athletes that suited up to play last year. Here to discuss how he got started playing football is Miles College sophomore cornerback Jaden Stevens. Thank you for being on this
Thank
show.
You, I appreciate it. Thank you for having me. I appreciate you. Thank you.
What specific skills did you focus on improving during the preseason?
I'm gonna have to go with speed and strength, just because that I'm in a shorter frame body, so I got to keep up with all the average height guys. So being able to maintain speed, being faster than everybody, just trying to get my weight up, in the preseason. But really, there is no preseason, so just trying to get my weight up in general.
Yeah. Well, is there any specific foods that you eating?
Man, we eat straight calf food, Shout out to my HBCU, Miles College. One thing that we eat on every Wednesday, fried chicken Wednesday, you know what I'm saying? So we go in there and tear that down. So we eat pretty good, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got you.
Getting protein in.
Yes, sir. All right. How would you describe the chemistry between the players during the preseason?
The chemistry of the players during the preseason, I'm gonna have to say that it has to get built up, You put a whole bunch of dogs on the team, whole bunch of dogs get to fighting.
Yeah.
Chemistry kind of out of whack.
Yeah, a lot of
ego.
You
feel me?
Yeah,
you got to get them in sync, get them organized, and kind of get them moving like a watch. But right now we're kind of aggressive, everybody just flying around everywhere.
Yeah.
But the chemistry overall is gonna be good.
So everybody know where they stand with each other.
Past champs.
Okay.
Past champs.
Yeah.
How do you describe physical conditioning with mental preparation in the off season?
Physical conditioning and mental preparation. I feel like you have to focus on your mental first. You know what I'm saying? Before you really focus on your physical. The mental part is the biggest part. The physical part, you're just doing that. Like being a student athlete. Being a student, that's pretty hard. But being an athlete itself in the collegiate level is harder. You know what I'm saying? So you getting through that physical part, you just got to get through the mental part. You just got to get through the mental part.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Yeah. So is anything specific skills that you do to get past that mental if you just stuck in a hard spot?
To be honest, I just isolate myself. Isolate myself, listen to music. Gotta have a strong mental. Sometimes I talk to my friends about some things that I really wouldn't talk to a regular friend about. So I'm glad that I have close friends back at school that I can talk to.
Yeah.
They kind of keep me on track.
Were there any particular goals you set for yourself heading into the season?
Oh, of course. I want to be an All-American. That's always the goal every year, be an All-American.
Definitely.
Be the best defensive back in the whole conference. Get as many interceptions, as many PBUs, as many tackles, forced fumbles, forced fumble recoveries, all of that. I just want to be the best.
What are some things that the coaching staff do to help you during the off season?
The coaching staff not only encourages, but they motivate in ways that I didn't think that this new coaching staff was going to do it, actually. So shout out to them. This coaching staff is very prominent in the weight room. They take the weight room very serious. And we also do this thing called D-Day. So like if we miss a meeting or anything, like a meeting or weight room or practice, like we have D-Day on Friday. And D-Day just consists of discipline day. That's what D-Day stands for. So, you know, they're big on being on time, because if you're on time, then you're late. That's what they say. So, you know, being early. So one thing I can say is they got the time management. They got everything down pat.
Yeah,
So everything's going on the right track.
That's a good thing, especially for young.
Yeah,
The-
you know
the
what I'm
young
saying?
ones, yeah.
Get them organized quick.
Yeah, definitely. Were there any challenges or tough lessons learned in preseason practice?
For sure, most definitely some challenges. Coming from an underdog point of view, you know what I'm saying? I was never the best. You know, I never was the best. I had to really earn everything that I've gotten. So it was players that was prominent, like just more than me, you know? So what I would do, I would just take from them. They would actually talk me through some things, through some plays, through technique, and I would just learn off those guys. And learning off those guys, those super seniors and those juniors from last year's championships team kind of made me the player that I am today. So shout out to them boys.
Did you get any advice, like how to move different as a freshman?
For sure, for sure. Coming into school as a sophomore transfer or transfer sophomore, one thing that I can say, being in a different area in Birmingham, you know, I was born and raised in South Carolina, and that was totally different from going to Alabama in a whole new environment. You know what I'm saying? So one thing that I could say, I definitely asked some guys around campus, like, you know, like, how should I move? Like, what are you doing? And all they told me, man, was just stay focused, stay in school, and just stay here, you know, just stay in the boundaries of camp, you know. No need to go outside and do all that other stuff. Just go to CAF, do you, be great, you know, just stay in your room. And that's what I do.
What do you think your team's biggest strength was going into the season?
Team biggest strength, I'm just going to say just us being organized as a whole, you know what I'm saying? Us coming together as a team, as a community. The community plays a big part for the Miley and Golden Bears at Fairfield, Alabama. So I'm going to have to go with community, actually. I'm going to have to go with community. Community really brings everybody together.
Did you play any scrimmages or preseason games, and what did you learn from those?
Last year, before we won the SIAC championship, I played in the fall scrimmage game. And one thing that I can learn about that is that college is very fast-paced, you know. Going to an HBCU, it was just like a different playing style, you know. It's like, you know, when I showed up for the first practice, like, they was really running the ball, you know. So I seen a running back get the ball, right? Boom, hit the A-gap. And he just grunting. He just grunting. I ain't never seen nobody run the ball like that, you know. So I'm like, whoa. I'm like, whoa, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know, when it come to that, you feel me? It's just a different playing field. But that's really one thing that I could see different, and that kind of helped me get right mentally. Like, yo, you gotta speed it up. You know what I'm saying? You gotta speed it up. So I can't say that I learned how to speed up the pace of the game a little bit in the collegiate level.
Did it take you a long time to grasp to that?
I wouldn't say it took me a long time, but it did take me a minute to just be able to maintain and be consistent. But I feel like I got it now.
And critique those skills.
For sure, critique the skills. The film don't lie.
Yeah,
the film never lies.
Definitely.
What do you feel like was the biggest difference between high school ball and college ball?
Like I say, the speed of the game, that was different. The size of the players, you know what I'm saying? I'm sure I'm standing at a smooth 5'7", 5'8", DB. In college, everybody in the average is at least like 5'11", like, you know what I'm saying? So I might have to go with the size differential. Definitely on the line, like the line of scrimmage. Offensive line, defensive line, all mean in college. But in high school, you know, that you feel me, you might have a little dude on the line of scrimmage. But I'm gonna say the size of the players, speed of the game, whole different coaching. High school to college, like, you got different weight rooms, different programs, you know what I'm saying? When you go out to away games, it's just different. Like, it's just a whole different vibe. It goes from a high school experience to a college level, like just campus life and so much more.
Right.
Do you feel like you hold your weight up pretty good compared to these big guys?
I really do. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my short kings out there. I really do think that I am, you feel me? I'm maintaining for what I am. But I definitely need to get some more weight on, keep on working, because I'm not going to stop.
Definitely.
When you first got on campus, was there a struggle maintaining your athletic life and your campus life and social and academics?
When I got on campus, I'm gonna be honest. When I got on campus, the athletic life wasn't really hard for me to maintain because I've been doing it for so long in my life. But the student life, the student life at Miles College is very easy and very simple, and I thank God for that. You know what I'm saying? You go to class, every professor in that whole school wants you to pass. You know what I'm saying? They want you to pass. They got resources, everything for you there. But some people there, they just moved a little different. You know, I just had to get used to some people's personalities. And once I got used to that, then, you know, I was straight on with the student-athlete aspect of everything. But I just had to get used to the people. Yeah.
Okay, we're going to take a break. That's all for this segment, but don't go anywhere. There's much more when we return.
Being a student athlete, high school is a completely different beast than college, where everything is amplified by 100 and the margin for error is razor thin. Here to discuss with us it's like as a student athlete are Miles College players Jaden Stevens, Stephen Merle Jr., and Salon Conte.
You got the
All right.
You asked the first one.
All right, welcome to the show. Thank you for coming.
Appreciate that, my
Yes,
brother.
sir.
Once
Yes,
again,
sir.
once
Yes, sir.
again, once again, once again.
How did your high school experience playing football prepare you for college?
I'm gonna go ahead and start off with the family dinners. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That really prepared me a lot. Just having prayers with the guys really motivated me to keep on playing football and keep on having moments like that. I'm finna start crying thinking about dinners. Yeah. So I'm gonna have to go with the dinners.
Yes, sir.
For me, it was just staying out on the field and just keep grinding, keep putting the work in.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
we were outside almost every day.
Uh-huh.
So we was just running. We would run runs, do drills, late nights, just sweating, just come back.
But you for
For me, I feel like being on the field, staying consistent, being coachable, having discipline, that's just part of who I am and keeps my head straight.
being able to listen and take in what's coming.
For sure,
Yes, sir.
without a doubt.
What has been the biggest roadblock in playing football at Miles?
Biggest roadblock in playing football at Miles College. I feel like there are no roadblocks. I feel like only you can be your own roadblock. I feel like Miles offers a lot of equal rights, you know what I'm saying? Equal things. Definitely with playing on a playing field base, with sports. So I think your only roadblock, the only person that's stopping you from doing anything great at the HBCU is yourself.
Yeah. I haven't had any roadblocks yet. I'm a walk-on, so I would say same thing. Like you could definitely. I would say like my first experience putting on pads and equipment. I was in my head a lot, so definitely you can control your you can control how you come into the sport. So.
Like my guy Jaden said, it's a lot of meat on the bone. It's a lot of opportunity for everybody, you know.
Definitely.
As long as you can pass that mental roadblock and act like, you know, you belong here, then there should be no problem for you advancing.
Yeah, definitely. Real. How's the adjustment been getting to know your teammates?
You know, most of my teammates aren't like me. You know, I feel like I'm a very outgoing person. I'm pretty cool. I can get along with anybody.
Yeah.
But most of those guys there just to play football and stay out of the way. You know what I'm saying? They're not really trying to talk every day on an interactive note. But most of the boys cool though. You know what I'm saying? Most of the boys cool. Most of them boys gonna keep it 100 instead of 50. So I like that. And half of them boys gonna stab you in your chest before they stab you in your back. So they're gonna keep it real with you. So that's one thing I can't say about that.
That's
Yeah. Like everybody is not like
I can't even
everybody.
explain it. Like,
Yeah, you can't explain it. You
Like,
have to experience it.
Yeah.
Like, but for sure, everything is straightforward. Like, it would just be like sometimes where you would just not like you would like not feel like going to like a meet or something like that, because like we meet a lot, and like you just gotta show them that you want this. Like you gotta show up and show, and that's what I've been doing. So
That's good. You feel the same way?
Yeah, I feel the same way. Yeah, teammates, a lot of the times, really strictly business. We're here for one thing, get out, shine where we are, make the Golden Bears great,
Have y'all came in across like arrogant people that just feel like they better than y'all?
Without a doubt,
For sure.
That comes everywhere in life.
that's you gonna meet that up.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's bad though. Like it's bad, but yeah.
What are the differences in the coaching at the college level?
Shout out to Sam Shade. He just left us this past year after being a SIAC champ. Led us in a crazy national round 2 playoff defeat to Valdosta State. They were number 2. We have new coaches now, but one thing I can say about that last coaching staff is that all of those coaches, everybody had a certain role to fulfill. Everybody had a certain job. Everybody did that job to the highest level degree. Like they did it. They kept their players in the weight room. They kept them in the classroom. They kept them in the meetings. They kept them big and hockey. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They did that. But the new coaches, they're new to me. They're new to my teammates, and I'm still trying to get used to them. But so far, so good. You know what I'm saying? Very prominent team. They're men. They came from a very good background. Coached in the XFL. They also played in the NFL. Head coach, Coach Goody, played for the Indianapolis Colts. Defensive coordinator, Coach Watson, used to coach at Tuskegee, our rivals, HBCU. And we got Andre Simmons, one of our coaches, just played 13 years in the NFL.
Really?
Stud, just got off the NFL like 3 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
So, I'm still getting used to my coaches, but the coaches definitely have a goal intact, and that's to win the national championship.
Yeah, I feel as though it's been a difference between the different coaches.
Absolutely, but we're just looking for this 2025 season that's in the past.
That's a good one. That was a good one. Sir, you feel the same? Y'all feel the same?
I wish I would have been able to experience like last season. He got to experience like greatness, like with Coach Shade and all the Coach Lancaster. Like,
Shout out Antonio Langham. Shout out Antonio Langham. Yeah,
like, those are some good coaches, and he actually would tell me like stories of like how like what he's experiencing, while during the season, like we'll talk, like he said, we'll have talks, and he'll talk about like how the coaching is, and that had me interested. Like, and I just couldn't wait to play, and like sorry to see them leave, but I just wish I could have experienced.
Yeah.
That was greatness.
Yes, sir. You feel the same?
As much as I hate to say it, the biggest difference between my high school coaching and college coaching, there's just a lot of politics. A lot of professionalism that takes the level of the game for people that have been playing their whole life and that just want a chance. A lot of politics. So,
Yeah. How hard was it at first leaving home and adjusting to the student athlete life?
it wasn't that hard, coming from a transfer student. My first school I went to was North Carolina at St. Andrews University. It was in Laurinburg, North Carolina. So I was already kind of one state out of South Carolina. So that was kind of like a little preview for me to get out the state, you know what I'm saying, kind of move around a little bit. But me moving to Alabama, like a couple states over, right, like 6 hours, that was a big gradual change. And I remember I was in my dorm and I laid down. I was surrounded by these 4 brick walls, and like that first night just didn't feel real. Like it still don't feel real. And I laid there. I woke up and I was like, man, like I'm far from home. And I immediately called my mom and dad, like, I miss you so much. Like I miss you. But I'm a grown man, so I got to keep it 100. You know what I'm saying? So
Me, I was always like it was always things changing, circumstances were always changing around me. So I just like, in my head, I was like, you adapting to this. Like that's what I'm going to do. There's no around it, nothing around it. Like it was something big, like, cause like I knew it was something big, cause when I made that late decision to come to college, like it was like everybody was just surprised around me. So like I knew when I made the decision, I had to stick with it. So I stuck with it, and it led me to these two. So and I'm proud of that.
What about you?
Yeah, my transition, it just basically consists of me thinking, like, home is basically where I am, you know what I'm saying? Coming from Notre Dame, it's just a big difference down here for sure. But like the world kept spinning while I moved down here, so I'm gonna keep moving with the world as I go.
Good. All right. That's all we have for this segment. But don't go anywhere. There's much more than we will return.
He always keep it up.
Last season, the Miles College Golden Bears from Central Alabama rode to become the 2024 Southern Intercollegiate Athletic Conference champions. But don't be fooled. This year's team is even more hungry to put a stamp on the upcoming 2025 season. Here again to discuss the upcoming 2025 football season are Miles College football players Jaden Stevens, Steve Merle, and Salem Conte. Thank you for being on the show. What are the coaches telling you about the upcoming season?
The coaches are telling us to be prepared. You know, be ready for anything that comes out to try to bite us because we got helmet and the pads on. We're gonna hit them in their mouth.
Yeah.
Go to that
PG-13. Go to that ball. All hats on the ball. That's what coach says. All hats on that ball. We gotta get to the ball.
Wait, your coach is telling you some good stuff too?
Win 1% every day. Get better. Chop wood, carry water.
That's good. Who are some of the biggest rivals for Miles College?
My biggest rival, I'm gonna have to say Clark Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? Just because of their offensive scheme. The offensive scheme, they like to go air raid scheme. Might be single back sometimes. They just like to throw the ball. You know, I'm a defensive player. I'm a DB. I want to go get that ball.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to go with Clark Atlanta. I'm gonna have to go with Tuskegee University, and I'm gonna leave it at there. I'm gonna leave it at there.
What was that? Who was
The rivals?
The biggest rivals.
Yeah.
Biggest rivals? Yeah. Clark Atlanta.
Yeah, Clark and Tuskegee.
It get like that when we play down. It get like that.
Bloodbath.
That was some of the one of the favorites when y'all like to play.
For sure. And I gotta we need to run that back with Valdosta State. Yeah, we gotta see them again. Yeah, we gotta see them again.
What are your individual goals for the upcoming season?
My individual goals for this upcoming season, I want to have more than 5+ turnovers, just anything. But 5+ turnovers as interceptions. Turnovers in general, probably like 8+. You know what I'm saying? This is gonna be my first year in the NCAA. My expectations are very high. You know, I train highly for it, so I expect that. And I'm expecting to get at least like 2 forced fumbles. You know, I got to bring that thump.
Yeah.
So I need those turnovers.
Yeah.
Me, I'm the type. I don't really like. You know, I might not pop it as much, but like my presence is always known, and I want that I want that to translate to football too. So I want my presence to be known. I want them like when they hear my name, they gonna think my number, and I want to be like a dog out there.
Yeah, definitely.
And like what I look forward to, with just me just being big. Like I want to get big.
Yeah.
I want to like.
Hey man, I gotta get big too, man.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I want to get big.
Get that red meat in there.
I'm telling you.
What's some of your goals?
I just want to hear my name called. You know? I just want that opportunity like everybody else. You know, I just want to have everybody cheering for me. You know,
Definitely.
Real.
Yeah. What are some of the team goals?
Team goal just to win national championship. That kind of sums up the Miles Golden Bears. You know, we want to win it all. We don't want to win a SIAC championship. We want more than that. You know, we're already looking past that. We did that last year. I'm looking forward to do it again in 2025.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to winning the national championship. Conference is cool, but national is better. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Y'all see that?
Yeah, I see that.
Yes, sir.
I see it. I see it with my own eye.
Yeah.
For sure. I'm telling you.
Y'all feel the same way?
yes sir. The expectations are for sure both that regional banner and that national championship banner, without a doubt.
Talk about what the strengths and weaknesses of the offense are.
The offensive scheme.
That's a good
on Miles the strengths of our team, we got some dogs out there, receiver, tight ends, running backs. we got people who want to get yards. You know what I'm saying? They want to get yards. They really want to play ball. They got a lot to prove on offense, but the defense makes it hard in practice a little bit. But the offense, you know, they want grit. I'm not gonna say any weaknesses because I don't see my team has weaknesses. You know, but if they do have weaknesses, that's why we practice at full speed to try to help mistakes.
You gotta sharpen those skills.
Yeah.
That's
sure.
what I was gonna say. Like,
For sure, but I don't see
definitely-
weaknesses. I just think that the defense is just top notch right now, and we're gonna stay top notch.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. It's more space to get better.
It's way more
Yes,
space
sir.
to get better. A lot.
What are the strengths of the special teams?
Strength of the special teams. I'll be honest with you. We haven't talked special teams at all with these new coaches, so I can't even answer that question.
How much film do you have to study?
It depends on how great you want to be. You know what I'm saying? I study a lot of film. I'm really in my room. I got 3 monitors in my room. Like, I have an office area. Like, it's no reason I should not be watching film. So whenever I'm done with my homework or just done getting bored of playing the game, I'm looking at film. I'm looking at film like it was a cartoon or something. You know, I'm watching technique. I'm looking at plays. I'm looking at different play concepts. I'm looking at what the quarterback looks at before a snap. I'm looking at what the receiver does before a snap. I'm looking at the coach's signal on the sideline in film. Like, it's just a lot that goes into film that you have to be so prominent to and quick, like a quick reaction, and just make a reaction off the rip. And that's how I made most of my plays in high school, actually. So
Just studying
you have
everything.
to you have to watch a lot of film in order to be good.
I do the same thing. I like to see how professional or like higher up athletes, how they react, how they adjust to high level situations. Like, because circumstances are changed a lot in football, and I compare football to, you know, life. So like, and you know, like, you got to know what to do. Like when the jumps at you, like, real quick.
For sure.
Yeah.
So
That's real.
definitely,
Every action got a reaction.
yeah.
Sure.
It's like studying for an exam, like, but it's an exam of competition out there. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to go into it blind,
Yeah,
of course.
definitely. What are the things the coaches are looking for when studying film?
The coaches are looking for technique. You know, they're looking for straight up technique. They're looking at if you got your assignment right, if your line right, and if you can execute. Pre-snap is everything for any type of sports, actually. So getting your assignment, knowing what you're doing on the field at all times, lining up, making sure you have the right alignment at all times, and executing at the full amount of speed. That's all they care about. Technique. Just being surreal, exploding, doing everything 115%, not 10, 15.
All the way.
All the way.
Yes, sir. You feel the same way?
Yeah, yeah. They like expectations are always to be give 100% or more.
Even if you mess up.
Yeah.
Even if you mess up, finish through, follow through. And me, I was, you know what I'm saying. I'm on my heels a lot. You know, I gotta fix. Like, I had to adjust some things. I'm athletic, but I don't got the technique down.
Yeah.
So I definitely had to, you know, always show 110%. Like they see that I'm pushing through. So I guess I kind of just fit in.
Yeah.
That's where I fit in.
What about you for baseball?
Basically, do not loaf. Just, you know, act like you want to be there. You know what I'm saying? If you're not giving that 100%, why would the coach want to give 100% into you?
Right.
Yeah.
That's good.
Well, thank you guys for being on the show. Unfortunately, that's all the time that we have for today's show. If you have any comments or questions, please contact us at learn.tv@lcsd.k12.sc.us. You can see all of our content on YouTube by searching Learn TV Lancaster or on Comporium Cable Channel 114. Again, we would like to thank all of our guests for being on today's show. For Raquel Hammond, I'm Sheridan Nichols, and we'll see you next time on Lancaster Legends.